Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, I'm going to focus on the Russell 2000 ETF, IWM, and then we're going to look at a couple of key indicators, take a look at the high yield bond fund, the dollar index, and then real estate and home builder ETFs. All right, so let's start off here. IWM has had one heck of a bounce coming off the low here on August 5th. So right around the 197 area, 197 and a half. And then the high on Friday, 221. So 24 points from high to low. Now, we've had some moves like that before. Matter of fact, right over here in mid-July, pretty much went straight up. So it's going to be interesting to see, do we have more to come, or is this it for the short term? Let's take a look at the Elliott Wave picture that I'm working. I'm going to go to the weekly view. So right now, I'm looking at this as a third wave, but I was looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, working our way up, okay? But this huge, very quick, straight down sell-off has really kind of thrown this whole thing for a loop. I'm still marking it as a zigzag. We've gone very deep for a B in here. And of course, that would imply that we need to come all the way back down here. We don't have to come down beyond the beginning. I mean, in a zigzag, there's no rule that says you got to equal A or anything like that. But we'll see whether or not we're about to peter out. The other thing I'm watching and looking at is there could be an alternate count that is even more bullish in here. And that is this little scenario right here that says A, B, C. And I thought about this mainly because of how hard and fast we came down in this 2-week time period. Actually, it was less than 2 weeks. Okay, so to have a running flat for a wave 2, so then we'd have 1, 2, and then a 3. Okay, that's the alternate that I'm watching. And we'll see what kind of price action we get. You know, we just literally came straight down in 3 days, 3.5 days, actually. Okay. So again, we'll see. Are we about to kind of roll over in here and break back down? You know, it had a heck of a move on Friday. All right. I want to go back over here to the weekly view and take a look at this for a second. Now, here's a couple of things I saw that would kind of throw a little bit of water onto the strongly bullish scenario. Look where the high was here this year, the week of July 28th. And then look at the high in last year, right here. You know, in summertime high, the week of July 30th. Then go back to 2022. You get a peak the week of August 14th. Mid-August, end of July, end of July. Now, and then, you know, you look at it and say, well, what did we get afterwards? We got this little downdraft in here, about 4 weeks for about 7 weeks. Well, that's, sorry, wrong one. This one was a little bit more pronounced right here, okay, from mid-July of last year into October, a little more pronounced. So, the real question is this just a little dead cat bounce coming off hard off of this low and we're about to roll over? I think we're going to find out here over the next week. I think that's it on IWM. Let's take a look at a couple of indicators. So the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average in the S&P 500 closed at 79.3%. Now that is the highest closing reading. These are daily readings, okay? It's the highest closing reading since back over here at the end of March. And you could see we got up here, bounced around that 80 level for a couple of days, and then we sold off hard into April. So again, it's going to be interesting to see what do we do in here around the 80 level. The high that we had on Friday was right there, 79.88. And when you take a look at the percent of stocks above their 200-day moving average, hasn't come back quite as strong, I mean, quite as far as the one we just looked at. But we're rapidly approaching that 80% level where it seems like it's gotten resistance before. Okay, May of this year, mid-July, and so now we've come up a little bit here this last on Friday. Pretty strong move this week. Okay, so those are a couple of, we look at these almost every day anyway, let's put it that way. Let's take a look at the high yield bond fund, because that's also pretty interesting. Very, very strong move. Look at that, up 42 cents, just going straight up, riding right above that 10-day moving average. But something caught my eye when I looked at the weekly. This was kind of interesting. Look where this stopped. This stopped at a high of 79.40. Go across with the dashed line over here. Right here, the week of August 7th, 2022, in a counter trend rally, high 79.42. And the high this last 79.40. I mean, we're right there. Okay. So it looks to me like we could be getting resistance right in here at 79.40. If we continue to push higher, I would expect a little more resistance coming in here at 80, so 80.19. So we're approaching a resistance zone, if not already there. So again, this coming week is going to be interesting. The other thing too is you look at the RSI on a weekly basis. We're sitting here, and again, I use a 10-day, 10-bar, 72.8. And we had a peak right in here at 72.2. And those are the only two times that I'm showing in the last several years getting above the 70 level. And here was that peak when we were approaching kind of running out of steam, let's say, in here. And then we just chop sideways for weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay, so that's where we're sitting right now with the high yield bond fund. We'll see what kind of follow through we get. And on a daily basis, you can see where we are in terms of being overbought. Okay, let's take a look after Friday. With that kind of news, wow, the dollar index down 79 cents on Friday, down $1.74 on the week. Big, big move to the downside. This is the lowest weekly close since all the way over here, the week of July 9th of last year. So it's been over a year, just a little over a year in terms of the lowest close. So pretty strong move. I'm bearish on the dollar index. We are oversold. Okay, so we could be all of a sudden getting ready to get some support kicking in, but so far it's just been, every time we've gotten that, it reverses right back down. I mean, look over here on the daily, what happened on Thursday. We're getting one-day rallies, and that's it. So a little bit of divergence short term on a daily basis, though. Could have a bounce coming our way. Okay, so with the dollar dropping, of course, that's really helping gold and precious metals and other things. And interest rates dropping, that's really helping real estate and the home builders, which exploded on Friday. So here's the real estate ETF, IYR is the one I like to look at. The volume on IYR is about the same as the volume on XLRE, the S&P real estate. So this is the picture, up $3.50 for the week. Big strong move after we broke out of all of that bottoming type of action that's been going on for the last year or so. And here's the move that happened on Friday. Big, strong move. Now, let's take a look at home builders. Up $4.90 on the day, but $9.05 on the week. This was the biggest, when I look at my ETF dashboard, This was the biggest percentage mover of all of the ETF sectors. Big, big, strong move. And this is a new all-time closing weekly high on the home builders. So right now it looks like it wants to continue to surge higher. Now you could say maybe we got divergence, but also sometimes when you have this RSI, you can draw trend lines in the RSI, and we'll see, does this break out higher in here and start pushing and continue pushing, which it's already started to do. All the moving averages are aligned to the upside. So right now it looks like it's full speed ahead. We'll see what we get. Okay, that's it for this weekend. If you felt like the video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, hit that little subscriber button. And head on over to joehenches.net. Check out the website and the membership. Everyone have a great week. We'll see what we get. Oh, we got NVIDIA announcing this week. Can't remember if it's Tuesday or Wednesday, but that's going to be interesting.